Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and today I'm gonna play Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. So, we're wandering Skyrim, and well, we are part of the Eyes of the Queen. This is our guild, and there is a lot of well, let's say it that way, some kind of shadowy activities going on, and we have to frame a guy for a crime, and now actually we also want to kill that person, and that is Break the Bloody. But is it that? No, actually no, that's not true. No, it was, yeah, no, I think it's, yeah, it was Break the Bloody. Kenyorik is the victim that was killed by our guild, but maybe it's actually not what we were told, because we've overheard some conversation in the enemy camp, and let me see. Yeah, this is all very, and I don't give too much about this whole story, to be honest. Anyway, we want more information about that, so we have to go to an unstable landmark, complete a clash or encounter or a delve, and to get more information. And that's it, pretty much. So, I mean, yeah, this whole story, I don't know. It's fine, but I'm not a big story guy, so I don't care too much about that. My goal is now to go here, so let's do that. I want to go to this unstable landmark. Now, the thing is, they recommend us to do this, or to finish this quest by day 9, but I don't see a problem if you finish it earlier. That's also fine, I guess. And actually we go to the next day. It's now day 7. Now, in case this does not become a conflict but some kind of peaceful encounter or something, we still have a little bit of time to to maybe travel to another unstable landmark. We'll see. So first of all, I'm going to move down here, and now we're going to roll this die and see what we get. Okay, this is interesting. This is now a traveling caravan, so it's similar to a city encounter. So let's see what we find there. The Skyrim wilderness is one of the most hostile environments in Tamriel. This caravan provides a brief respite, but it can't fully shield you from the land's strange effects. A merchant approaches you with a creepy story on his lips and a recommendation to buy his survival gear at a generous discount. Winds of Change. At the start of this encounter, each adventurer must spend 2 tenacity, untrain a skill line, and all dice in that line, or flip their class sheet to the opposite side. Wow, that is great. That is super cool, because that allows us to upgrade for free. Class sheet, that's this thing here, right? That's amazing. Untraining a skill line is also interesting. We could maybe I wonder if you are allowed to untrain your combat skill if you, through this effect, because usually you can't. I gotta check that in the rules. So yeah, I cannot do this. It's interesting, the rules explicitly say that if the word cannot is used in this rulebook, then it cannot be overruled by another game effect. So, and we have that here, the combat skill line cannot be untrained. So, okay. I think then there's no question here. We're gonna simply both flip our class sheets. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. So now we are both master sorcerers. Absolutely insane. That was a very lucky one. So now we can, if you start your turn in magic, gain 1 tenacity or remove 1 light fatigue. That is great. And pretty much all our abilities are now in some way more powerful. And he's gonna do the same thing. And now we don't have to save up our enchantments anymore. Now we can simply use them because we don't have to get 4 at the same time going. That was my way to improve. But yeah, I can ignore this now. That's pretty cool. And then this Argon. Nope. Wait a second. That's not. That was the wrong one. It was this one here. Yeah. When engaged by an enemy, prevent 1 damage dealt to you for each miss rolled. Okay, and then also a couple of other things going on here. Yeah, that's definitely awesome. Winds of Change, love it. Now we got to prepare the trainers and the Hildland, the traveling merchant. And underground map, draw the top 3 Delph cards. Place any of them at the bottom of the deck and then place the remainder back on top of the deck in any order. The party may collectively spend 2 tenacity any number of times to draw 1 additional card per 2 spent. Alright, I mean, that's also cool. We could prepare a Delph a little bit that way. We have a lot of tenacity. That could be also pretty powerful. Wow. Okay, so we'll see what we find here. Of course, we only have 2 actions. And if we want to do this group action here, everyone has to spend 1. So we'll see. So yeah, let's start with the trainers. I'm still interested in a yellow in one of these thief skill lines. Oh no, actually not anymore necessarily, because now I'm upgraded. I don't need a second thief skill line to become a master rogue. That's cool. So I'm more flexible now. Here it's tricky. I'm not even sure if I want another skill line. Maybe here, but I cannot really push this far. So we'll see. Okay, this is heavy armor. Interesting stuff here. This is an interesting game. Shadowy, that is something that could be an option. But where do I want to spend that, right? This is really not that easy. Let's see. We got heavy armor. No, that's light armor, actually. Another light armor. and again the Daedric summoning. Okay, so it's pretty much these three options that we have, and then let's see what we find. Wow, there's 3 legendary items here. 2 common items, chicken and biscuits. Alright, so let's take again this bag so that we can easily pick these up. And roast pig. Okay, that would allow us to heal for an over fatigue. I don't know. Discard this item, then heal to full HP. Well, but you can only use it if you are exactly at 1 HP. And now we got 3 legendary items. Dark Seducer Cuirass. Drain 1 available combat skill die or gain 1 over fatigue to prevent 2 damage. Or recover all drained combat skill dice and remove all fatigue from your cooldown track in addition to that. That's pretty cool. If you overtax this thing, it's amazing. Try Restoration Potion. You may trigger any one of your non-enduring class abilities without spending tenacity. That is not bad. And the last one is the Necrotic Horror. That is a pet. When hit points is removed from a unit on your turn, add hit points to this pet, equal to hit points removed from the unit, and gain the same amount of bonus hit points. Then there are at least 6 hit points chip on this pet discarded. I mean, yeah, why not? This is also kind of interesting. But not necessarily a must-have, I think. So let me think about that. Okay, so I've realized one interesting aspect for him, and that is I can untrain the Magicka, and that would allow me then to get an additional skill line going here. But I have to do this during the reward step, so I cannot do this now. Therefore, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to grab one of these skill lines at the moment. I would be interested in the shadowy skill line, but I cannot really do that now. Yeah. Now, so I think what I want to do is I want to give the sorceress the Try Restoration Potion. You may trigger any one of your non-enduring class abilities without spending tenacity. The reason why I want to do that is I got the blood magic going, and each adventurer in play heals to full hit point, then removes light fatigue from their cooldown track equal to the amount of hit points healed. So this is an insane powerful spell. It's a complete heal, and it costs me 5 tenacity, but with that I can do it basically once per battle for free. So that I think is a very, very good option. And so that was my first action with her. And then I want to send him to the quest board, because I think I might want to keep this companion for a while, so I probably will not fulfill this quest, but I might be interested in picking up another one. Okay, so we got Province Poacher. A local high elf collector approaches you with an under-the-table proposition, asking you to bag some rare local specimens. Place the 2 enemies specific to the current province of the following level on this card, depending on the number of players. So, level 5 enemies. At the start of each quest clash. And that's a bit of a problem in this situation because it says we have to fulfill a clash or delve in our quest. So is the next one a quest clash or not? That's tough. I'm not sure about that, honestly, but maybe not, I guess. Probably not. At the start of each non-quest clash, add one of these enemies to the EP and deploy it last. If it is currently session 2, that's not the case. After one of these enemies is defeated, it is returned to its enemy bag instead of the defeated enemy's stack. If it is undefeated at the end of the battle, place it back on this card. Once both enemies on this card have been defeated, complete this quest. During that day's reward phase, gain 1 experience, and each adventurer may draw 2 legendary items, choosing 1 to gain and 1 to discard. If an encounter specifically calls for an enemy on this card, it is used as normal. However, it does not count as progress toward this quest and is returned to this card when it would be returned to its back. Okay, so that's what we want to do. And now I think I'm going to do the town action. So, okay. So we both have to spend our second town action. Draw the top 3 delve cards, place any of them at the bottom of the deck, and then place the remainder back on top of the deck in any order. The party may collectively spend 2 tenacity any number of times to draw 1 additional card per tenacity spent. Now I'm thinking, actually, yeah, maybe I want to spend 2 tenacity here. And then I'm going to draw 4 of these delve cards. One goes to the bottom, and the other 3 I can place in any order. Okay, so I discarded the frozen river because that messes with this special icy build-up card, and that is a negative thing, so we don't want that effect. And then we got these 3, so sadly we only have 1 of these sky shards. I want to bring this 1 sky shard at the top. It has the most enemies, and as long as I'm in good shape, I think it makes sense to fight them. Then I want to place the treasure cache with only 1 enemy and the possibility to get a couple of items. And then the sheltered grove, it's also only 1 enemy. It's not that terribly exciting either. Maybe 2 items. Yeah, okay. So maybe it's helpful. Okay. So that means we're at the end of the town phase. And now we're in the reward phase. So I could now remove the magic skill. I could untrain the magic skill with this guy. And I want to do that. That allows me then in the next town phase to train a new skill here. Okay, so because we had an encounter at an unstable location, we get both 2 tenacity. And yeah. Okay, then we have to activate the province effect. And now these areas here are under siege. Alright. And we go to the next day. Okay, so we're moving into day 8. And I want to go here. 2 steps to this northern coast. And we're still looking for some kind of battle encounter. Okay, there we go. That's fine. So let's draw a card. Okay. Forever mine. Judging by the pile of rusty detritus outside of this cave, you've stumbled across a long, derelict mining operation. These days, it's hard to know why a mine gets shut down. Did the veins run dry, or did the war get too close? Maybe there was a cave-in. There's no way of knowing what caused the miners to pack up shop unless you go inside. You're torn. Picking up a pickaxe and heading underground could be lucrative, but digging through this big mound of scrap outside might end up being safer. Okay, so we could now choose, and I think I actually have to choose this, because this is red. If we would be on a... I gotta check that. I'm not sure if I can... It depends if you are on a conflict or if you are on an unstable location. Maybe it's the conflict. I don't know which one. I'm gonna check that. Yeah, so that's actually true. If I'm at an unstable landmark, I must resolve that choice here. Now, the red one. So this is not really what I want to do. Let me see if there was something which you can't change the result, right? Was there? I don't know. But I don't think so, because I think I can change the die result, but that doesn't really help me. Yeah, no, it doesn't, obviously. I think I have to go through that. So, excavate some rusty old scraps outside. Each adventurer rolls 1d6 and resolves the rolled result. God, that's stupid. Let's put that here. And then roll the die. So, let's see. This lady here goes first. That's a 5. You survey the area and gain valuable experience. Gain 1 bonus XP. That's really cool. So she gets this XP here, and then an additional one. And a bonus XP is not tracked over here. So that's really awesome. And then the rogue. Nah, that's a 2. Your gear is scuffed up and ruined in the search. Discard 1 item. Okay, huh. After adventurers take fatigue damage during the start of a fatigue round. I mean, that's tough. You know, actually, I'm thinking about keeping the glyph of stamina recovery, but it's really tough. They're both good. I don't want to get rid of my mace. That's a good way for me to do damage. So I gotta discard one of these 2. roll a status die and apply the roll result to any unit inside. That is good, but that can save us if we're taking too long during a delve, for example. After adventures take fatigue damage during the start of a fatigue round, set the round counter to 4. The next time a battle ends, discard this card. So that would give us basically 2 additional turns. You know, but that is a one-shot item. This one I can refill. So that makes it harder for me to actually make that decision. Let me think about this for a second. It's you know, I tend to not value one-shot items that much. Maybe that's my, you know, maybe that is the reason why I don't like legacy games and why I'm into, yeah, I'm kind of a collector's guy. So in general, during games, if you can get one-shot items, I don't really value them a lot. But this could be really potent. I have to think about this for a second. I think I'm going to discard this one here, actually. It's not terribly reliable. You cannot really plan what you roll. I mean, usually you get an advantage, but in the end, it's a strong item. But I think I want to keep this to buy me some more time if it's going to be really, really necessary. All right, so we both get 1 experience for this adventure, but she gets an additional experience. So, yeah, that was nice. And that means our experience here goes up by 1. All right. So, I got 2 Okay, let's get rid of this first. And so now we come to the reward phase, or we have done so, but I can now spend my XP. I'm not sure what I want to do. I mean, buying this die let me that would be this expert summoner, which would improve the abilities of companions. But the thing is, it's not that much. I mean, this is 3 of them are basically tenacity. Then we got, this one is a 1. So you could argue only 2 of them are really kind of powerful. And it also gets less and less in time. So I don't know if that's really what I want. But then we have the Power Stone here. You may change the result of up to X other skill dice you rolled this engage to a side of your choice. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure though. I'm not so sure about all that. Now, increasing this would be much more expensive. I mean, not much more, but it would cost me 3 experience. But, I mean, I could also increase my magicka. And in this way I would be allowed to roll more dice. But I don't have that many dice. So, I'm thinking about maybe saving the experience for now. And maybe I want to increase my cooldown. Before I collect additional dice. So yeah, I think I want to save the experience for now. Okay, so now we're going toward the end of the day, so therefore we have to check for the sieges, and it stays here. And next, let's see, anything else? Oh yeah, we could now theoretically heal, but I think we're both at full life points. Yeah, okay. So that's it. That means we go to the next day, and now, well, I'm going to simply move back, and we're still going to try to find these thugs. So now we gotta check that. I think there is a way that I can now spend tenacity or something to make sure that I get the result on the die that I want. So let me see. Okay, so I can spend basically 2 tenacity to set the unstable die to a side of my choice. So I will do this. So I'm gonna spend 2 with her. I want to keep my tenacity here. And by the way, I realized one thing. I didn't realize that before. We got an enduring ability here. The timely escape. Once per turn, you may reroll an enemy's engage that targets you. And so that means the enduring ability means that as long as I have 3 or more tenacity, this is basically, this always applies. And we already had that at on the other side. So I could have used that before, but I didn't realize that keyword, that this would be of any interest. And what's even better is now we have a new ability, the Infamous, that's also enduring as long as we have 2, reduce the difficulty of all social checks by 3. So that is really, really powerful. Okay, now let's see. We're going to roll the die. I want to draw another one of these encounters. Oh, actually, this one here. So, good finds are hard to help. As you skirt a hoar-frosted hill, you see a gathering of structures below that seems to resemble a town. Although there is no settlement around here, noted on your map. A closer look reveals a slapdash marketplace of sorts. The buildings aren't permanent. They're tents fortified against the weather, and the makeshift camp's pack animals mill about the outskirts, waiting until they've called upon to pull this assortment of merchants to another location. You consider browsing the wares on offer until another sight catches your eye. Off in the distance, a group of hard-looking warriors is fast approaching the camp, and they don't look dressed for haggling. Okay, so, again, we have a choice, but we don't really have a choice. This time we have to do, they're both fighting options, but I hope we get a clash or a delve. Initiate the traveling caravan town encounter and treat it as though it is under siege. This encounter is successful regardless of the outcome. Slashed throats, slashed prices. All right, so I'm wondering if that is... Okay, so it says we have to complete a clash or a delve encounter. Now, let's see if this counts as a clash. Okay, so this here says when the party initiates a town encounter in a town that is under siege, that encounter takes the form of the following clash. Therefore, I would assume this counts as a clash. On the end, we have to successfully complete a clash encounter, but here it says this encounter is successful regardless of the outcome. So I guess we can be sure that technically we could just start it and immediately retreat, and we've done that successfully. However, I mean, we might as well just have an encounter here, and maybe we can get some advantages. So, depending what we find, for example, in the shop, we can check what is in the shop. Maybe we want to go there and grab it. We could also train. And if we kill every enemy that shows up during this encounter, I get an additional town action. So that's kind of cool, I think. So let's set up this location. Okay, so this is now the site where the caravan is located. Here in the center, on these 3 spaces, this counts as a town square. So if we go here, we can take the town square action. This down here is the guild kiosk. Yeah. The inn is closed, so we cannot take an action there. The inn would be this. I assume that's not even there. I mean, I wonder if we actually should place that. But, yeah. A cold building is... Huh. Maybe we should just remove that. I'm not sure, but this is closed, so I assume there's nothing there. We have a shop over here, and we have the trainers in here, and this is obviously our entrance tile. Okay, now let's see. We have a standard enemy pool. So we have 22, so that means we start with 120 enemy. Wow, I'm a bit afraid what's going on here. This is the strongest guy possible. And this is here a Khajiit cutthroat. Okay, he's got 8 life points. Six, 8 for this guy, and he is placed here next to the town square. Alright, and then we got 2 level 1 enemies. So we got a Imperial Bandit, with 5 hit points actually. And he starts down here. And last, we have a Wood Elf Bandit, also with 5 hit points. Alright, and this guy starts then here. Last, we now have one of these guys, and I kind of randomize that a little bit, and I wonder at the start of each non-quest clash. Now you could argue that this is a quest clash, but I'm not going to treat it as such. Add one of these enemies in the EP and deploy it last. So this is a guy that we want to kill. The others we don't really necessarily have to kill, but this one we want to kill. I mean, otherwise it comes back on this spot, so it's not a big deal anyway. But so this is going to be a Falmer. Okay, so he has 6 life points. And then he goes up here. All right. So you got to remember that this is the guy from this quest here. Maybe we should place some kind of marker. Let's do that. So just that we remember that a little better. Okay. So now let's see what the shop has to offer. We have 2 common items and 3 legendary items. So we start with the common items. Ooh. Beach Lightning Staff. That could be interesting for the sorceress. Deal yourself 1 damage to increase your range by 3 for this engage. Ignore sight. That's pretty cool. So let's place that here. Then we have Psychic Order Picks in a Blanket. Discard this item, then remove a collective total of up to 4 hit points chips from any pet in any adventure's ready slot. And we got 3 legendary items. Oh, that is a pet. Imgakin Monkey. Anytime you would take damage, you may choose to place that many hit points chips on this pet instead. Once there are at least 6, discard it. Okay, so he simply takes damage for us. Glyph of Crushing, Enchant Adventure. While in these 2 combat stands, the Enchanted Adventurer may change the rolled combat skills dice to 1 hit point before resolving them. So you basically can guarantee a hit with a combat skill die, which is nice. And this seems to be permanent. Barbaric Hickory Shield. Deal 1 damage to an adjacent enemy for each combat skill die that was placed into an active slot disengage. So this is if we go into a defensive stand. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I mean, could be interesting, but the shop is far away, right? And then we're also gonna see what the trainers give us. We got 5 available options here. Okay, we have 2 two-handed options. We got another sword and shield. We got a speech and an illusion magic. Now I'm actually considering for him maybe taking the two-handed options. He would have to change battle stance for that, but it would also allow him to do a little more damage. So maybe I might think about that. Okay, we also have to deploy our guys now. Well, no, maybe I'm gonna place her here. And then we got the orc. And we got the Argonian here. Okay, So the Wood Elf Bandit has dodge. Prevent damage dealt to this unit equal to the number of rolled skill dice that do not deal damage. Alright. Let's think about that. Retreat. The Khajiit Cutthroat. Retreat. At the end of the unit's turn, if no units took damage this turn, this unit gains a stealth status die and heals for 1 hit point. Okay. Riposte 3. So if I remember that right, the first time this unit is dealt damage by an adjacent opposing unit, yeah, this unit will then deal 3 damage back, so long as it was not defeated, and steal, and that means he's going to roll a die against its target, and if he rolls higher than the hit points, it will take an item from a ready spot. Okay, now let's see what we can do here. I mean, obviously this guy is really rough, but the others maybe not so much. And the good thing is now the sorceress, she's got a lot of things going to kind of give him status dice, so maybe he will not be too dangerous. We might be even just ignore this guy. Okay, so first I want to use my Wall of Elements and my Pulsar. Well, maybe the Pulsar will be good enough. I want to blind this guy. The problem is, if it's not successful, that could be a problem. So I also want to take my Wall of Elements. I don't want to take a risk here. And yeah, I think I only want to roll these 2 dice because I will get them back then afterward. So yeah, let's see what we get. I hope I can blind him. That would be really cool. Okay, let's see what that is. That looks fine, I guess. Yeah, that is this one here. Deal 2 true damage to your target and 1 true damage to each unit adjacent to it. So that means he takes 2 damage. All units that take damage from this skill then gain a blind status die. After this engage, gain a blind status die yourself. Okay, so that means we're going to give him a blind status. Let me find that. Oh, it's over here. Right. And I'm going to get one too. So, oh God, this is this one here. And that means he's only going to target units. Now, basically all units are enemies to him. And he's only going to target the strongest adjacent unit. So as long as there's nobody adjacent to him, he's basically out of the game, more or less. I mean, he just doesn't do anything. That's pretty awesome. And this is a permanent one, right? So yeah, we're just good. And then we got this one here, and that was Um, apply a fear status die to one enemy in range and deal 1 true damage to any one adventurer. So, you know, I think I don't want to use that. You're not forced to use a die. It simply goes down in the cooldown. The reason why I don't want to use it is it would be drained, so it would go away, and I don't want to do that. So therefore I just keep that and place it in the cooldown. The other one will not go away. No, it just stays here. Now I also get a blind status die, and I'm going to place that in my cooldown, and next turn it's going to go away and I'm going to be fine again. But until then I cannot engage with non-adjacent enemies, but that's okay, I think. So I wonder where I would, if I should already go somewhere. I could go here or here. I don't want to obviously go adjacent to him. Now, do I trust that this guy will kill the Wood Elf Bandit? I mean, he needs to do 5 damage. Should be possible, but I don't really know. Well, the damage, the bandit doesn't do a lot of damage, so I think I'm fine. I'm moving in this direction here. Okay, fine. Just 1 space. Don't want to risk anything. And now it's the rogue. So I'm going to use my calcinium mace. And let me see. The Fleet Phantom and the Rapid Maneuver. Do I want that die? While this die is on your cooldown track, you may move up to X hexes at the start of your turn. While this die is in your cooldown track, you may move through enemies. So, when exactly is this die placed in my... I think it happens... I think I can still move after I roll the die. Pretty sure about that. So this sounds like a cool option. So let's pick this die, and then maybe these 2 dice, and in addition I get 2 enemy dice because of my hammer. Okay, now let's see if that's enough. If I can move through this guy, I can deal an additional 2 damage. So I think that we only have to do 3 damage. Now let's see. Yeah, okay, that is not perfect because this is not the result I wanted. All right. Okay, so anyway, I deal 3 damage to this guy. But the problem is because he dodges, 2 are subtracted. Fuck, I missed that. So I only deal 1 damage. Oh boy, that's not cool. All right. So now what? These go here in my active slots. This one gives me a tenacity. Oh, by the way, because I started in a magic stand, I should also gain a tenacity here. So, let me see. What can I do? Okay, yeah, that didn't quite work out. So I guess what I want to do is I'm just going to move here. Maybe actually here. Well, I could move, yeah, no, that's true. I'm going to move there. I could move also here toward the Imperial Bandit. And then attack him next turn. I mean, he will attack me, but that doesn't really matter. So, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to move here. And that's all I... Wait a minute. I was 1, 2, 3. I can move an additional space. Let's move here. Who cares? And now, the Orc Marauder simply goes here. And he will attack the Wood Elf Bandit using 2 dice. Okay, he's aggressive, so he can reroll this die. Okay, great. So these were 2 hits. Nice. Okay. Yeah, so that's basically my turn. Now we activate the other guys. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't find a target. He's only allowed to target the strongest unit adjacent to him. So that's not happening. Then we got this guy here, and he moves now 2 steps closer. And you know, why not? I mean, let's get them here into action a little bit. And what does that mean? Chilblain and detection. I think Chilblain was kind of like my item. I don't know. Let's see what that says. So detection. The unit ignores stealth status dice when targeting, and the Chilblain by an adventurer who is not using a weapon, that adventurer gets light fatigue. Oh, okay. Well, but I'm using a weapon with this guy. And the orc is not an adventurer. Be reminded about that. And I assume it's adjacent, right? So if I use him with magic... No, actually not. Is engaged by an adventurer who is not using a weapon. Yeah, that's a little weird, but it seems like if I attack him with magic, I also get the light fatigue. Okay, now the Wood Elf attacks 2 people. The Orc Marauder, but he cannot take any damage because he has a shield of 2, so we don't really have to roll that. And then he takes also me. Oh man, I take 2 damage. That's not that great, obviously. The problem is I'm blind, so I cannot... Well, actually I could attack this guy because he's adjacent. We'll see. And then this guy moves here. Now he's got the native skill. Oh, you know what? I think... Yeah, it does the freeze thing. I must move 1 item from a ready slot to their pack. If the party is currently in under siege town, the target must move all items to their pack. Shit. So that means I lose my Cassinium mace. Well, I don't lose it, but it goes in my pack. I didn't really have that in mind. And then I get attacked. He rolls a single die. Okay, that's one hit. I'm going to use one of my defense dice to prevent that damage. All right. So we go into the next turn. Let me see. Oh, that's actually cool. So first I get a tenacity, and I can now, for example, play the Dark Exchange. Move up to 2 hit points from any unit in range to any other unit in range. Yeah, I think that's something I want to do. I'm thinking about maybe trying to kill the Falmer. I mean, I would not kill him, but maybe I can do some damage there. This does not seem to be a... It's not a target. I don't have to target the unit. So I think I can also do it while I'm blind. So therefore, I will now spend 3 tenacity. Oh, first I can recover these 2 dice here. And I will then, yeah, simply take 2 hit points from him, and I will bring them back to me. So that brings me into a better shape now. Now I could use these 2 dice, go to a normal combat stance and try to attack this guy. Maybe this is actually not such a bad choice. You know, I think I want to do that. I think, yeah, why not? Let's fight a bit. So let's go here. I'm going to change my stance. That allows me to roll these 2 dice. I got 2 stamina, so I can actually do this. And yeah, maybe I'm doing good, and I will engage with this guy. So I've got to be a little lucky. That's a shame. Well, I mean, at least 1 point. And I get another tenacity. Okay. Oh no, no points because he can dodge. Again, there is this special ability for him. Because he can dodge that now because I did no damage. Now I'm thinking about moving back, to be honest. I don't want to get in trouble here with this guy, the Falmer. So do I want to move here? Yeah, maybe I should. I'm just going to move back here. I think that's all I do. Okay, now it's the Argonian. He's fighting the native. So he gets back these dice. Oh, and this here... No, that was a tenacity, so that doesn't really help. Okay, what do I want to do? Let me see. I got my one-hand shield. So I got the shield charge, I think. No, that's not true. I got the heroic slash. Yeah. So I think what I want to do is I want to take these 2 dice and yeah. Not sure. Maybe this one? Nah, it's a tough choice, right? Do I want to take another combat die? Do I want to use one of these? You know, I mean, having the option to move 5 spaces is kind of cool. So I think I'm just going to roll these 2 dice here, and then we see what happens. And I can still maybe take a fatigue and then attack again, but it's not going to be enough. I'm pretty sure about that, but I think that's okay. I think I'm okay here. Alright, so what do we have? Well, that's a tenacity. We are already at the maximum. I could use the kickback. After rolling dice for your engage, heal. That doesn't really help either. Veil of Shadows, enduring. Okay, let's see. What do the others do? We got this one here. Exhaust any number of shield dice from your active slots and deal 3 damage to your target for each die exhausted that way. Okay, so I think I want to do this. So I can deal 3 damage to this guy. He's got 1 armor though. And then this goes in here. You know, these 2 obviously go in here. All right. You know, I'm actually I'm really thinking about kind of ignoring this guy. If I move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, then he would follow me here. He would attack me next turn, but okay, I mean, that's just a single... That's not going to be so bad, I guess. And then I can move to the shop, and I could do my actions there, and I don't have to care too much about him. So that seems like it's maybe a neat idea. Of course, it's a bit also a timing issue, but yeah, I mean, we'll see. Now, but then I might be in a better shape when it comes to this cooldown thing here. Doesn't really help all that much. Well, okay, anyway. So now it's the orc again, and he now attacks the wood elf, and maybe he can kill him. There's a good chance he can. Yep, he did that. Excellent. Oh, first he had to move, but, well, I mean, he didn't, obviously. So that's fine. And now we activate the enemies. So now the Kashyyyk Cutthroat will attack the Falmer with 3 dice. That's pretty cool. Wow. Okay, 3 damage. He has a shield, so he takes 2 damage. But still, I mean, that's pretty cool. Then, yeah, we activate this guy here, and he moves towards the orc. Oh, I wonder if I should move. Yeah, so I'm going to move him here. God, how did that work out? All right, so, and then he attacks the orc with 2 dice. Okay, these are 2 damage. However, the orc has an armor of 2, so we're good here. So the bandit follows me, so he goes here, attacks me with a single die. That is a damage, and now I got my timely escape. You know, I think I want to use that, so I force him to a reroll. I hope I don't take 2 damage. Okay, so I take that damage. That's not a big deal. 1 damage is fine, I guess. Oh! Oh no, that's something different here, the rogue. Okay. So, and that's it. Now we go to the next turn, turn 3. All right. So I recovered 2 dice, so I'm not blinded anymore. Also get one of these. And now I'm really thinking about maybe even killing this guy here so we get the additional town action. Of course, it's not going to be so easy. We got still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice, and he's got he can take a lot of. He can take a lot of damage. He's got 3 armor, which is massive. But if I use my 2 force shock dice, you know, maybe I can do some damage there. What about? We got the bound armaments. Oh, we actually have to exchange. I don't get the extra because I did my standard combat last turn. So I have to go back in magic stance, and that means I don't get the extra tenacity this turn. I only get it if I start in magic stance. Okay. To perform an engage rolling 3 enemy combat dice. Yeah. I could do that. You know, why not? I'm gonna roll these 3 dice. I'm gonna attack this guy here with my force shock. Yeah. Okay. So how much damage do we do with that? That is overall. Okay, this is 1 true damage. Oh, to any 1 adventurer. So that would be just 4 damage. Okay, that's pretty rough. 4 damage. Okay, he has 3. So that means he only takes a single damage. I get 2 tenacity for the other die. And then I have to deal basically twice true damage to any adventurer. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the damage myself. 2 damage. But okay, so we did that. This is a tenacity. But I think I already applied that, right? No, I didn't actually. I didn't. I took the tenacity from this result here. Okay, and now again, I want to do the blood magic. No, that's not true. I want to do the dark exchange. So again, I'm going to spend 3 tenacity, take 2 from him, and simply going to take that to myself. That's pretty rough. That's really tough, man. I mean, that poor guy, you know, he's blinded. He doesn't know what happens to him. He's really in trouble here. So now again, it's the orc. No, it's not true. We start with the Argonian. So we get these two dice go back. Yeah, and I think I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go into the shop here. And then I can do an engage. So basically, I can simply now do... I can grab the glyph of crushing. I'm going to take that. That's really good. Enchant Adventurer. I'm going to do that right away. While in one of these two combat modes here, the Enchanted Adventurer may exchange the rolled combat skill dice to 1 success before resolving them. So this is now a permanent effect. I'm going to put that here. That is pretty cool. So that was my first town action also. And, you know, I'm just going to mark that by placing this here. And now it's the Orc Marauder, and he attacks now this guy. He will not probably, I mean, he could technically, maybe he can't kill him, but it's not a safe thing. Yeah, okay, so that's just 1 damage. But still, it's nice. And now we activate again the other guys. There's nothing going on with this guy. He can't do anything, still blinded. The Orc Marauder will attack... this guy will attack the Orc Marauder with 2 dice. Oh, okay, that's another damage. And then it's this guy, and he basically simply just follows me over here. Yep. And that's the end of the turn. We go to turn 4. So I'm in magic stance, so therefore I get 1 tenacity. And can recover 2 dice, obviously. Huh. I'm going to roll... I mean, I might even consider rolling this one here. If I... Let me see. The Wall of Elements. A MAME status die would be kind of cool, eh? Was that the one? No, wasn't there one? A Bane. I would love to get a Bane, but I don't have that. Nah, it doesn't really help then. So, what am I going to go with? Maybe these 2. Yeah, I'm going to use these 2. Attack again the card sheet cutthroat here. Alright. So we get another tenacity here. And that one is pretty good. Is it? It's not that great. 2 damage to your target. So that has no effect at all, which sucks, obviously. And, well, I guess what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to use again the Dark Exchange and suck another 2 energy from this guy. And I can actually get more. Yeah, so I'm going to place these here now, and I have more energy than I had at the start. Okay, Now here we get back our markers. I got this one here, which allowed me to move 5 spaces, if I'm not mistaken. No, 3. I could move 3 hexes at the start of my turn. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. I want to move... Do I want to... Yeah. Yeah, I think I want to do that, actually. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to move another hex back there so that this guy cannot reach me. And I want to train. I want to actually get the two-handed weapon, and I'm going to place that here. And then I can kind of change between my defensive dice and maybe some aggressive dice that do a little more damage, because yeah, obviously it's not that easy for me to do damage. So that was my second town action, and now it's again the Orc Marauder. He's going to attack this guy, and I'm pretty sure he's going to kill him now. Yeah, that's enough. And that is cool, because that was the first guy that we wanted to kill from my side quest. So therefore it says that he goes back into the enemy bag when we kill him. And if we kill this guy, we solved the quest. Alright, so that's it. This guy don't do anything. Then here, he moves simply 2 spaces here. That's what we get. Next turn, 5. Get a tenacity, recover. And you know what? I'm just going to do the same thing as before. I'm going to attack this guy here. Again with my force field. Okay, 2 tenacity. Well, that's good enough actually to spend again 3 tenacity, and now this guy is simply killed. Again, another one of these dark exchanges. So yeah, we managed to get rid of him, place him here. And wasn't there something when I destroy? No, nothing special. Alright. And now I can actually move, and I'm just going to move 2 spaces. And now I hope maybe, well, he moves here, and now he's going to attack. He takes, well, he has 5 tenacity. Oh, but he doesn't have his cool weapon anymore. I don't really have a lot to do a lot of tenacity, to do a lot of damage. But I'm gonna take these 3 dice and attack. Okay, so that is 3 damage. This die goes into the active slot. So he takes 2 damage because he has 1 armor. And now what about this one here? That says exhaust any number of shield discipline dice from your active slots and deal 3 damage to your target. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to remove that simply, and then we also kill this guy. Okay, so we managed to kill all of them. And therefore, we now have 1 additional town action. So, yeah, I'm just going to take one action for everyone here, one additional action for everyone here. Okay, so she takes the beach lightning staff. Beak, I guess. Deal yourself 1 damage to increase your range by 3 for this engage. Ignore sight. Overtax. This engage can target any enemy in play regardless of range or sight. Okay, that's cool. And now let's see. So that was my first town action. What about this? This could be interesting if I go into a defensive stand, but honestly I have my doubts that I'm going to do this. The monkey could be maybe interesting, right? Imgekin monkey. Why not? Yeah, guess I'm going to take the monkey. So that's my second town action. And now we both have a town action left. I'm thinking about if I want to train one of these skills. Maybe speech. Maybe illusion. But on the other hand, I feel I don't really know, man. Maybe I should just take... I mean, speech can be kind of cool for social skills, or for social checks. Where do I want to place that? I could place it here or here, maybe here. Let me see again. You know, I think I'm going to go with illusion. Not sure what I actually want to do with it, but it might be useful. Now I'm thinking about... I think I want to place it here, I guess. If I can just get 2 dice or something, I think that's fine. That helps a little bit. Okay, so that was my third action. And then, you know what? I'm going to give this guy this Psyink Order Pigs in a Blanket. Discard this item, then remove a collective total of up to 4 hit points chips from any pet in any adventurer's ready slot. So I guess we could feed that to our monkey. And so I guess that's probably useful. Okay, so we both did now... So we both did now 3 actions, and now we go to the reward phase. Alright, so we get 1 XP for this. Oh man. Right. Then we might get more, I'm not sure. It says here traveling caravan. Well, there is a thing that happens when you... I wonder if I get extra... The party may choose to end. If all units have been defeated, each adventurer gets 1 free town action. Oh! So do we get another one? Well, you don't really need that, right? Any town action not associated... I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Okay, so... okay, nice. So that's that. Then I think I want to spend 3 experience to increase my cooldown here. And here I got 2 experience. And maybe I should train my two-handed capabilities here. That sounds like an option. Yeah, okay, I think I want to do that. I'm going to take a wrecking blow and an onslaught die for my two-handed weapons. So if I want to do real damage, I can use these 2 dice now. They should come in handy. Alright, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much it here. And now we go to the end of day phase, and of course we're going to get rid of our over hit points. We can heal each 1 hit point. Now I'm already at maximum. I think he actually, yeah, he can heal 1 hit point, and then we can both heal 1 of our dice here. All right. Oh, that's actually that is actually wrong. Of course, we want that die back in here. Right. Okay. And now let's check the story. We did this quest thing. You've sussed out the location of Brake's camp, but to your dismay, the news of his responsibility for the death of Kjennerik seems to have strengthened his position. The word is that in recent days, some outside benefactor has swelled Brake's ranks with all manner of unsavory new recruits from above and below Skyrim, as well as a fresh supply of captive Khajiit that he can transform into briar hearts at will. You'll need to take him out soon before he becomes completely unmanageable. Okay. Alright, so we gotta get set aside a couple of Khajiits. Quest objective. Travel to any conflict landmark and choose to initiate the following clash using the end of session difficulty EP. Then we gotta fight Break the Bloody, this dude here. At the end of Break the Bloody, okay. Deploy all Khajiit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is our battle map, so that's what we got to do. But we still got a couple of turns left to collect some experience. And I guess I feel pretty confident. I mean, let's face it, there is no more real danger. It seems that my guys are already really strong here. So, yeah, it's time to load this up, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye!